Or asked us to look at senior care businesses. Now, our search assistant found one in Oklahoma that you could buy for $111,000 and net $295,000 after making your loan payments. Now, let's usually use a 10-year, 11.5% interest, 2.5% down SBA loan to buy this $4.4 million business that's advertising around $1 million in annual cash flow. Now, this business provides non-medical in-home care for seniors and veterans through the VA organization. Now, one thing to keep in mind with these businesses is that they're very people intensive. You're going to require a lot of employees to really run at this scale. You're going to have a lot of employee turnover, so you're just going to be in a constant state of hiring more and more people. Obviously, as the owner, really who kind of wins in this space is who can manage that turnover the best. If you can reduce your turnover relative to your peers, you're going to outperform them because employee turnover is just expensive. It costs a lot of money to train people, takes a lot of energy from the organization. Obviously, your top performers have to spend their time training people. So, not only do you have that trainee who's not particularly productive, while they're training someone, your high performers become less productive. So really the key is making sure that you are good, treat your employees well, that they want to stay, that'll keep your turnover down. You probably want to overpay a little bit, not a lot, but if you overpay a little bit, you'll be more likely to keep your employees because it's harder for them to go and jump and go somewhere else. And it's going to end up being money well spent because you're going to have that less turnover. So you'll have fewer expenses from losing employees and hiring new ones. And in these spaces, it's way harder to find employees than it is to find customers. So keep that in mind. Your ability to find employees is going to determine how much business you can do. And one thing that jumps out at me at this business in particular is they're advertising a 39% margin, which is just crazy for this type of business. Now, the only way they can do that legitimately is if the seller is performing several jobs, they're working 80 hours a week. Maybe they're the only employee other than the people out in the field. It's really hard to see how they're producing those types of numbers. I think 20% is actually considered pretty good in this space. We'd be really happy to see one at 20% typically. Seeing one, obviously, at this margin, it's better, but it makes me think something's going on here, something's not right. Overall, I think the valuation's probably a little high. We're at over 4 times cash flow, which 4 times is really about as high as you can go on an SBA deal. Anything above that, the math probably doesn't work out. And I'm thinking to put $4.4 million at risk to take home $300K probably isn't worth it. So reach out if you want to buy a business together or check out our search assistant to find more like this one.